Now, there's another argument which I need to posit. All criminal cases in this country are not necessarily televised, but some are superstar cases. Okay? Let me cite O.J. Simpson. I mean, there are many murdering cases in the U.S., but because O.J. Simpson was a superstar, a serious footballer, the public interest was so huge that it merited showing the arguments and proceedings to the general public. So there's always a case in point, depending on the category and the happenings and the public interest in the matter. I mean, there's been many issues that we felt strongly that the public should know. I mean, didn't the speaker allow for LGBTQ things to be done in public? So there's no hard fast rule that, you know, and let's look at this whole thing as a normal legal proceeding. The right of an individual to have the case against him or her cannot be taken out because she's the Supreme Court Justice or Chief Justice.
You mean the right of choice of a counsel?
Not counsel, but to have access to things she's been petitioned against.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
I mean the petition itself, the content of the petition.
I mean, he was saying that there's nowhere in the, Constitution that says that the president ought to. No, some things are literally known in law that those things will not be spelled out in the Constitution.
Except that.
Yeah.
I get the point, but
Yeah.
except that. But the document she said she expects the Justice Foreman Committee to ferry her with, right? Right? With the same document she responded to.
Administratively, it is not. Let me tell you why.
Why?
There's a weight involving the committee sending her notice that yes, they received the responses to the petitions they have.
Yes.
And it is adequate,
right,
or it is not adequate. Now, here's one key thing. I'm an economics person, and I do logic.
Right.
Okay. Now, the committee has some petitions. They've received her responses through another door.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
from the president.
Administratively,
yes.
If there were 4 petitions she responded to, and the committee has 6 petitions,
how will she know?
How will she know? And that is what she's asking. That listen. There's nothing
then she has a point.
There's nothing that stops you as a committee in just receiving my documents so that
and cross-checking.
Even the surety that what I gave to the presidency is everything that you have in totality. Administratively,
Adam, you get a logic?
Wrong with that.
You get a logic?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Which is that I have some documents here. Let me see if you have the same documents.
That's
then
nothing
we
wrong.
Proceed.
And administratively,
you know, I have the petition with me.
It is even right.
I'm the suspended chief justice. I have the petition with me. Can I see if it's the same petition we're dealing with?
But
I have 4. I told there are 4 petitioners. Do you also have 4 petitioners?
And do you have my 4 responses?
Right.
That is all she's asking for.
Okay.
And she has every right. And it is even in the interest of the committee, if they are doing a judicious job, to even request that the defense and the state provide them both responses. I mean, if you go to court today and you have a case, you submit to the prosecutor and you submit to the court.
Yeah.
That is how it, and this one, it will not be spelled out in the Constitution because it is natural justice, as she rightly says. So I'm pleading with all of us. You know, let's not put on political lenses. Okay? And let's look at it. And the right thing, and listen, my arguments are not against the president. You know, the president may have done the right thing, but downstream, everything has to be right.
Okay.
Downstream. If the president empowers the committee to do something and they are not doing it well, it presupposes that the buck stops where? At the presidency. But I'm not here to argue, you know, against President Mahama. My point is that the people he has entrusted to do the committee work, they need to be fair in their dealings. If not, when they break the tenets of very ordinary legal proceedings, it diminishes the weight or it diminishes the perception we have in public domain that, you know, it's like you've tied the person's and you are telling them to give you evidence. I mean, you've tied me. The thing is in my pocket, and you say I should still release it. I mean, that's unfair. So administratively, I think that listen, what's wrong with the committee appending to whatever that, oh, these are the exhibits of the things we've received from the presidency. Your 4 responses. Is it in its entirety what it is? Yes, no. That's all. Verification. But if you can't verify this, then how do we proceed?
Okay. I think that I think that I get your logic, but that may not necessarily be factual, because in her press statement, page 10, under the subheading, the 3 petitions, she herself, alluded to the fact that the 3 petitions being used in
that she knows of,
that they have been made public, and so those are the ones that have been made public.
No, but
and they were given to her.
She wants to be sure.
And she says she has provided.
She wants to be sure.
No, but
Surety.
so okay. So
Surety.
I don't. You know why I don't even see why this should even be a case?
It is a case.
Because when you come before
It is
the
a
committee,
case.
Moro, if you come before a committee of inquiry,
Yes.
and you are served with a petition that these are your charges, and they
She
are
hasn't
asking
been
you,
served.
and they are asking
she
you
wasn't served.
any.
She has not been
but
served.
but yet she has said here,
Through the
and she's
presidency,
even
not the
addressing.
committee.
No, listen, she is even addressing
She wants to read something. To
all the petitions, and she stated here that the petitions which are being used to inquire into why I should be removed from office have been in the public domain for some months now. They are actually available on the internet.
No, we're not dismissing that.
So-
What she's saying that all those things that she's aware of.
Yes.
I want to know if you have the same thing. That's all.
That's all.
But if
Now-
it's
now
not
let
the
me tell
same
you
thing
why.
that the
Edem,
committee has,
Edem, basically-
how are they doing that? Because you see, when you appear before a committee,
Edem, Edem,
when you go before a court,
Hear me.
or let's say you go before
Uh-huh.
a committee or a commission of inquiry,
Uh-huh.
and you are being asked any question,
You don't want to be
that
ambushed.
is not no.
You
If,
do not
if that is
want-
why
and
that
you
is
do
why
not
you have
ambush.
lawyers. That is why you have a lawyer. So you see, when
she
you go to a
even
committee, no,
states that the date-
no, you see,
the date
no,
for hearing,
Doc,
the lawyer
Doc,
was there, they
Doc,
didn't even listen to the
Doc,
lawyer.
Doc,
Oh,
Doc,
I mean, this
Doc,
is things
I'm
that
telling
they-
you that if you appear before the committee and the committee is inviting you to discuss a matter that you
There should
think
be an item
is
list of the things.
a matter that is foreign,
It's
that
fair.
is foreign to the petitions that you are aware of. That is why you have your lawyers to stand on that to say that
No, if you have your lawyers,
exactly.
how would
You
your
see,
lawyers answer when they haven't interviewed you, the client, about the issue?
But how do you want to see
in
my
in
evidence?
law, in
Mo,
law, no.
The
Hey, that
petition
is-
she
I
was
beg
given
you.
the petitions
I beg you, in
for
law,
which she responded. You see,
law-
let's not go
let
into
me-
that.
no.
So Doc, in law, you see, Doc,
you
it's
cannot-
important.
You cannot charge me and not tell me my charges.
But she knows her charges. And
They
she
haven't
responded to them.
presented
For
to
example,
her even the issue.
So
the
what did
charges
she-
are
so
in
what
the
did she-
petitions.
What-
And
so
what did she respond to?
What did she
If she doesn't know her
respond to
charges,
that
what did
formed
she
the basis
respond
for
to?
the establishment of?
She responded
has-
and even sought to provide clarity as to why she traveled with her family, who are not okay.
Yeah, but Edem,
Remember, and
I get
so
what I'm
what
saying
are
that
the charges?
all those
She
things that were given
responded
to
to
her that she
every
responded
single
to.
petition and
Yes.
all the
She
issues
just
that were
wants to
raised against
cross-check.
her.
She
So why is
just
this
wants
to
to
say that she
cross-check.
Let me
wants to
cite-
cross-check
let me
what?
cite an
With them
example.
from the committee. Whether
She
was
needs
Yama
to
and
understand.
the
I think that the problem she may be. I think that
Maybe
just before you come in,
Edem.
I think that one of the problems that the Chief Justice, the suspended Chief Justice, is suffering from is the fact that she's refusing to accept that she's no more the one in charge calling the shots.
She
You
has
cannot dictate
every
to the
right,
committee
like
how
an
they
ordinary
conduct their
Ghanaian.
business.
No,
You cannot.
listen. No, let
You
me-
cannot.
So Edem.
So today she's appearing
Edem.
before the committee
Edem.
as the person
Edem.
for which petitions have been written against.
Edem.
So the days where she was the one in charge, calling the shots,
Edem.
transferring judges,
Can I-
deciding which
can I-
cases should be heard or not.
that
Look,
is- that is
but you get
unfair.
a
we
point
were there.
she's
Look,
making.
No.
we
But
saw
Edem,
how.
Edem,
We saw how.
I have a
Let me
question for
conclude.
Edem.
Let me conclude.
No, I
Bro,
need clarification.
We saw how Gertrude Torkornoo made the judiciary look extremely petty and partisan. There were cases. I recall the e-levy case, for example.
would you?
No, we get all of that.
No,
Edem, we get
there
all of
were
that.
cases. There were cases. She became.
Okay, suppose
she
that-
became like
Edem,
a
Edem,
goddess.
Edem, can I ask you a
who
question?
who at her
Can I
own
ask you a
pleasure
question?
decides which cases she needed to empanel people or not.
Edem.
There were many cases that demanded urgent response from the Chief Justice at the time. She refused to. She was acting in a partisan light.
Right.
Today, she must remember that she is a suspended Chief Justice. She is appearing before the committee. She should humble herself and go through the process. Nobody will be intimidated. Which process is flawed?
So
the Constitution clearly provides how the process will be conducted.
Do you hear me out?
It is stated.
Just talking,
Don't let Justice.
My question.
She should humble herself.
So let's hear his question.
Ask your question.
Supposing I have a case at the High Court.
Yes.
And it's going to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Will the Supreme Court not want to know all my documents? That's all it is.
As what? Want to know your documents?
Listen,
which documents?
You're changing courts. You're dealing with the executive. Now the president has formed a committee.
Yes.
And you are saying that committee, between the presidency and you, some things may have changed. I am willing.
What may have changed?
Oh,
it is the president that refers the petitions. I don't know why we are. This is not an issue, though. No, not at all.
So I'm willing to see if anything has changed, yes or no, and then I'm ready to give you everything.
But why would she
I gave to the
president? Why is she
imagine that something?
Oh, no. Listen, this is administrative. Okay, this is administrative.
So then he poses the next question, which is, why didn't the lawyers on the first day when they appeared before? Remember, on the first day when they appeared before the committee, she couldn't make it. So there was the lawyers were there.
The lawyers were denied even the ability to talk, which she states carefully.
Yeah, she did that.
Yeah, so please, I mean, listen.
But subsequently, but hold on, subsequently.
Me, I don't know the woman. No.
That's fine.
Subsequently,
no, I get that. It's not personal.
It's
but
about
subsequently,
her position.
Could her lawyers...
And the ordinary person.
I get it, but could her lawyers subsequently have objected to the proceedings going on until and unless they are able to see whether indeed what they have is the same thing that the committee has?
It is fair justice or natural justice, like I said.
Yes.
You have a case against me.
Yes.
I've heard some things in the public domain. As a committee, just let me have the things that are against me.
Okay.
Maybe the presidency brought 3. For all you know, you have 6.
Our time is up.
Just let me have it.
Unfortunately.
And let me respond to you.
Yes. Okay, so the two of you will not agree on this matter. So
no, but Moro, in
the public
conclusion,
will agree with
Moro,
me.